We are going to be discussing Charlie Kirk once again, and we're also going to be talking Tucker Carlson, Sam Altman. Those are today's current events that I see going on, so that's what we will be discussing today. So, we'll start with the lighter of the two topics. We'll start with the Tucker Carlson, Sam Altman interview. So I just watched it. A lot of what was discussed is what does the future look like for civilians under, AI becoming more and more prevalent. And I personally have a lot of concerns with AI and how it could be used. But something that I seen reoccurring in the interview was Tucker really grilling Sam Altman on how does it choose morally on what to tell people, because there was a recent a kid that I don't know what else to say. He did what he did, and it was recommended by AI for that to occur, or helped at the very minimum. So morally speaking, some countries, a lot like Canada, they allow their own citizens that if they feel like it's their time to go, they can get some assisted help to go. So morally speaking, at what point should AI recommend a doctor that might help with that? Was one of the main talking points. And why is Sam Altman the one person that gets to choose what's morally sound? So speaking on religion, he said that he's a Jew, but he doesn't necessarily believe in God fully in the Jewish sense. So why should one religious denominational person be able to influence the entire world? And that's a really scary thought with AI, is one person's beliefs can now influence the entire population through our computers. And I use AI. I'm a college student. I ask AI questions quite constantly, and I could see how its influence could really start to screw people up. So that's very concerning to me. So that's a talking point. And we'll, subscribe, and please tap into the comments. I'm trying to make this more professional, but this is what I can afford right now. I'm a single dad, college student. It is what it is. But that's one of the topics of discussion that we can tap in is how do you think we solve this problem? Sam Altman right now gets to say yay or nay on what AI likes to believe is moral. So what's a solution to that problem? And is it even a problem? What do you guys think about that? So the other thing is, and this is my own concern with watching, is AI, is it a tool for the rich to be able to eliminate 80-90% of the world? This is a really out there theory, but this is my own fear. I have anxieties about this thought here. Is AI just being used until it's good enough to take over everyday jobs? Factory works no longer need factory workers. Fast food restaurants no longer need fast food workers. Lawyers don't need those. A slew of jobs, hundreds, thousands, countless jobs could be taken by AI. Is this a tool for the rich to finally eliminate everyone and have the world as their own utopia? That's a thought, and I'm very worried about that. So tap in with that too. What do you think on that? Is AI a tool to eliminate everyone but the elite, so that the whole world can be utopia? And was the vaccine? And now I'm going way off the rails here. So again, this is my own opinion, or not even an opinion. It's a speculation of my own. The vaccine had metal in it. People after getting the vaccine, they could stick metal magnets to their vaccine site and it would stick to them. Were those actually nanobodies with kill switches? So now when AI reaches a pinnacle and all these stars align, and they say, okay, we're ready to have this world as our own playground, do they now have nanobodies in, I don't know what the percentage of Americans is, but do they now have nanobodies in these Americans where they can switch it? And all these people that were slumping were just them testing that switch to see if it works good enough. There's a thought. Tap in and talk on that. So, lots of thoughts there. Now we're going to switch gears. Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You were, I believe, a true prophet sent from God to come and gather the sheep. And he passed a martyr. And God bless him. God bless his family. God bless his wife. God bless his kids. As a single dad, Oh man, horrible, horrible. So during the Joe Rogan Experience, it was released that happened during a bathroom break that Charlie Sheen had left the room to go and do. So Charlie Sheen's a very big Hollywood actor. So it was interesting to see how. So I consider him a part of the industry. So we kind of had a live take on unedited digestion of somebody from the industry hearing the news of Charlie Kirk's horrible fate. And he seemed shocked, he seemed surprised, and he seemed unhappy with it. And that was reassuring. So I don't think Hollywood's really has its hands too deep in on it, at least unless Charlie Sheen's totally severed with Hollywood. I don't really know. But I should say Charlie Sheen didn't seem pleased with it. And of course Joe Rogan wasn't either. And it's just horrible. It's horrible. So I just wanted to touch on that. Do you think Hollywood? What do you think Hollywood's doing? Do you think there's something we need to fear? Are they trying to influence more of this violence to happen? Do you believe that's a thing? So tap in, talk on that. So Tyler Robinson, I guess, is the alleged assassin. So let's talk about him. He ran across the rooftop. We now have footage of that. We can see him falling down. In that footage, though, I watched it repeatedly. I do not see how he could have concealed the tool he used to do the dirty. People are saying, well, it could have been down his pant leg. And I listen. Before I found God and before I found my way, got into college, had a kid, it was really having the kid was the turning point. I was a bad person. I've spent time in prison myself. I used to be a drug smuggler, but that's in the past. That's gone. And I know how good people can conceal weapons. But my problem with that theory is when he jumps off the roof, you can clearly see both of his legs bent on impact. And I tried to position that tool, how he could have bent in that way with it concealed, and I just don't see how that's possible. So what's going on there? Something to me is a little fishy there. I don't know what that means or what I'm even trying to say with that, but as far as him having it concealed when he jumps, I would say that's not possible. But so that's what I know about that. The inscription, there was inscriptions on the bullets. One of the very interesting ones to me was Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, which was a inscription that they used for anti-fascism, during World War II in Italy and stuff like that. That was an inscription they used back then. So the rhetoric of I want to be gentle here because I'm not totally against the left. The rhetoric of CNN reporters, the rhetoric of past presidents saying Nazis and fascists are taking over your world, and he even considered me one of them by saying voters for Trump, which I am a Trump supporter. If he's involved in any of the child stuff, then I will not be a Trump supporter. But as of right now, I'm a Trump supporter. I believe in a strong country. But the rhetoric of calling people like me and people advocating for this fascists and Nazis is truly harming people. Ciao Bella Ciao on that piece of metal shows that their rhetoric is now causing violence. In my opinion, this is it coming to fruition. So for Joe Biden to go out and apologize and say how bad violence is, I think he needs to crumple that into a little ball and shove it so far up him that he breathes life again. Because that's sick. He to me, he's one of the main voices that caused this. So, but that's my opinion. Tap in, argue with me, debate it. That's why I'm doing this, man. We need to start communicating and figuring out that we are extremely divided as a country to the point of violence, and we need to figure out if we're past the point of no return. Is civil unrest the next thing that's going to happen? Is that something I need to start preparing for? This is just an open room for debate where we can hash things out, and I'm just going to see where this takes me. It's the next best thing I can do. And thank you all for interacting no matter which way. Even if you hate me and you scream at me, thank you still, because at least you're screaming at me. So let's continue. Tyler Robinson. So the grandma told a reporter that the whole family's MAGA. They're all Republicans for Trump. She can't think of a single Democrat in the family. So why is the son of a family like that doing some heinous crime like this in broad daylight? And like I said before, I'm a student I go to a major university. At this time, I'm not going to disclose where, but if people keep asking, maybe I will. But I go to a major university, and I've seen teachers that are actively trying to indoctrinate me and 60,000 fellow students. And I am under the impression that Tyler Robinson went to college and this is my opinion, so I would say he was brainwashed by teachers. I would say he was brainwashed, and the son they got home was not the same son. If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything, and as a young man coming out of your parents' home and out from underneath their blanket of protection, you fall for a lot of things. Speaking for myself, I fell for a lot of things coming right out of high school because I stood for nothing. So he fell for something, and I believe he fell for lies spewed by his teachers. I've had teachers, when President Trump was elected into office, transgender teachers were saying, this is such a horrible thing, I'm taking the whole week off, and we're not having any homework because I can't handle it emotionally. Okay, I mean, that teacher just said, okay, 10,000 students who rely on me to get knowledge and who have paid a lot of money to be here, you guys don't mean anything. I'm more important than all of you. As a teacher, as a role model in any sort of position like that, my belief is you need to stand above and you need to take people under your wing. If she felt that strongly, or it, whatever it wants to call itself, felt that strongly about President Trump, then she should have been in the school the next day, being there for her students so she can raise up more wise people that could make better decisions if she thinks that we were heading in the wrong direction. I personally think we're heading in the right direction. I hope, I pray, I'm not wrong. And it's disgusting. Seeing this in college, getting just shoved down our throats at every turn. It's this rhetoric of the right's evil, they're Nazis, everyone needs to just do whatever they want, and we should all just have open borders and a communal society. We're too different in this world. We're too different. We can't do that. We can do it to an extent, and we already do. This is the great experiment, the USA. We have a massive country, and there's no states that don't let you in from other states. Here you go. Have at it. We're in a communal society. Start treating each other better. The whole world doesn't need to hop in on what we have here, and we need to get that kicked, my opinion. We need to kick that out of our heads and be happy with what we have. We have it pretty great here. Just 100 years ago, I'd say about 150 years ago, people still were going to the bathroom outside without running water. They were happy if they could sit in their living room and look on their kids playing in the living room and just knowing they're safe. That was contentment. We now have this ideology and this idea that the whole world just needs to be gifted to us. And if I want to go explore Egypt and see the pyramids, then it's my right. I have that right. This world owes me that privilege of seeing those pyramids before I die. And that is not how we are supposed to live, in my opinion. That is not how we live. Sorry, I got a little off track. So, Grandma says the whole family's MAGA. I think Tyler Robinson got brainwashed. I think he was brainwashed by crazy ideologies shoved down people's throats by professors, and I think that needs to stop. But on the other hand, I also believe in free speech. So there's a fine line we need to tread, because I don't want more government. I don't want more rights taken away. I don't want more government in any avenue. As Ronald Reagan said, the scariest thing you can hear is, hey, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. They don't help, ever. So yes, tap into this discussion. Let's talk about these points. Let's talk about it, man. Let's just have open discourse, open debate. And I'm going to try to get a nice little studio and have maybe turn this into more of a podcast or put clips in and stuff. All that's coming. Just please bear with me in these young infant times so I can get this off the ground. If you disagree with me, that's okay. I will, when this gets off the ground, I will have people that disagree with me and we can have open forms of discussion. That's totally fine. This can be a platform for you too. This isn't just for my ideologies. I have an opinion. Everyone gets to have an opinion here, and we get to hash it out, and people can see it firsthand and choose what they want to believe. I'm tired of the media telling us what to believe, and I think that's caused a huge problem. Let's see what's going on. I'm a human being. Look at this. Ow, I just pinched myself. I'm a real human. Right here. I have no political agenda. I have no sponsors. I have nothing. I believe in the Christian Bible and its word, and I believe that through these debates that, yes, maybe the word of Jesus and someone may be saved. That's okay. So I guess that could be part of my agenda, but that's all I really want, is just to hopefully help someone find Jesus and the love of God through this open debate and argument, and just to stop the violence. And we'll see where this channel takes us. But I thank you guys so much for tapping in. It means the world to me. And much love. Much love. I love you all. God bless.